From forms to sheets to slides and docs, once over lightly. My Drive, new. Google Forms. Title the form. Click up here, the title will copy up. First question. What island are you on? Chuk, Koshrai, Pohnpei. Yeah. Next question. Which states have you visited, including the one you are on now? Chuk, Pohnpei, Koshrai, Pohnpei, Yap, and change to checkbox, allowing user to check more than one box. Add another question. Did you travel in the past 12 months off island? Yes. No. We'll come back to this to section it up later. We need a new section. This section will be the number of off-island trips. Give it a title down here. And add a question here. How many trips did you take? Now, this one is going to be a short answer, and we'll use this to show how you can set up response validation. Number is number. This forces them to enter a number. New break. Future of tourism will be the third section. These are just examples to show how to set this stuff up. New question. Multiple choice grid. Grid will include the prompt overall for the question, the future of tourism in the FSM should be, and then the prompts for that in the rows, the row prompts. Those are just being copied and pasted from a text file, basically. Save some time. And then going back up to question 3, here I'm going to click here and go to section based on answer. If they answer yes, they should go to the number of off-island trips. If they say no, they should go to the future of tourism. They haven't done any off-island trips, so they aren't going to be answering the next question. So this is how you can control flow in one. With that done, I'll go to settings, check to make sure that it's this is designed to be anonymous, so no login. I'm going to go ahead and allow another response after you've submitted one. Then up here in sharing, if I'm going to share this outside the institution, or I want to make sure it's people feel it's anonymous, that they don't have to log in to take it, I'll send it to anyone with a link. These are decisions you make based on your survey. I'll go ahead and maybe it's always nice to, I think, to spice it up a little bit, not leave it just the same. So I'm going to pick an image. Now you can pick a pre-built image, but I'm going to go ahead and upload an image here, one that might be somewhat appropriate. Say done. This will change the color palette down here and get me colors that match my image. automatically. That happens automatically. So now if I go back here, I can see it's got a new theme. It's got a header image. Makes it look a little bit more appropriate than plain purple with no image. Now I'll go ahead and probably should test it out, but I can do that here. Preview, make sure it's going to behave properly, go the way I want to. And so I can test it out if I want to. And with that done, I'll go back and publish it. Anyone with the link can get it. Okay, publish. And the link is available here, and I can copy the link and send it to somebody. And when they open up that link, they can see the survey and take the survey. I'll now go ahead and open up the, I'll pretend that some responses have come into my survey. And so currently there aren't any, but I'll click, once I have responses, I'll click the link to Sheets, and I'll then see my spreadsheet. Let me get my spreadsheet up here, one preloaded with responses. This is one where there's 7 responses have come in. And what I'm going to do is, you can work just with this directly if you want to make a chart. What island are you on? You can make charts right here. You have charts available also in the responses, so I'll take a look at both of those in a moment. So let me do that as well. In my actual other survey, this one, an earlier copy preloaded with responses. When you click on responses, you do get some charts, but you can't edit them and you can't alter them to a different type of chart. They're just whatever Forms gives you. So the advantage to switching to Sheets is that you can do these charts. So you can go in here, insert a chart. Initially you get something very similar, but you can now change that to a different type of chart. And you can customize it, edit it, change your titles. But I'm going to do the other use for going into Sheets is to do some analysis. So let's put that away, click on that, take that out for the moment. Plus, I'm going to add a sheet. I like to use short names because it will make typing formulas easier. A for analysis. This is going to be equal to sheet D. Let me come back for a minute. This sheet I've already renamed D. But if I didn't have a sheet named D, for example, like this one, you create a new spreadsheet and it'll open that sheet up. It'll come in with the name form responses. I'm going to rename that to be D. And then I'm going to continue on my other preloaded sheet because this sheet my new form has no answers in it yet. So I'll come out of there to my preloaded sheet A. This one's already got the first tab labeled D, E equals A1. And it's going to pull things across for me. And I'll bring those across a couple rows and probably set those up to be, my life will be easier if I do that. And then this will come down to row 8 to 7 responses, so down to row 8, and it's got these other responses showing up there. But this next one is going to be the checkboxes question. And the checkboxes question is if I fill down, oh, that's the, sorry, not the checkboxes. This is the checkboxes question here. These all, suppose I want these split apart so that they're each in their own cell and then I can later copy them to somewhere else. I don't have to do it manually. I go up here and I just edit this, split, and tell it that I'm going to split on a comma. The splits will be on commas. And that's what it does. It splits these apart for me. Now I can copy and paste those into a column or do something else with them to analyze them. I've got them all in their own cell. With that done, I'm going to, this is C1, so I've got to go past the end of this, skip those. And over here I'm going to say equals D1. This is the off island, and then this one I can just fill over, and this shows how many trips off island. The blanks are because they didn't go off island, so that's to be expected. The very next question is future of tourism, and there's 4 possible answers here. Let's take all 3 of these guys and wrap them. And in this case, I've got words, but if I want to analyze this, let's go ahead and fill down here by 1. These are words. If I fill down, you see they're words. I can't do a lot with words. I'm going to convert the words to numbers. So I'm going to use a little bit more complicated function, an ifs function. That's converting the words to numbers. Fill down, fill across. Now I have numbers there. I'll add another sheet over here. Maybe this one I'll just call sheet B. Not very original. But what I'm going to do at B is I can now do these cells here. I'm going to come over to, I'll just copy those. I'm going to paste them manually into here and then set them to wrap. That was a Control V paste, but different ways I could do this. And now I'm going to put the average, because maybe I want to calculate the mean for these values. And I'm going to do equals the average, just to show you how you can do this. I'll click on A, and I want the average of, I think this will get me started at least on the formula. And now I'm going to edit the formula. I got rid of the 2, close the H. It'll now take the average of all the numbers in that column in H. And if I come across, I get numbers there. I'm going to trim the decimals here. Not much meaning to that, so I get different decimal places. I'll probably use this table later, so let's maybe make it look more like a table of some sort. Maybe add even some borders to it. Let's stick some borders on it. There we go. I'll come back to this one. But now I can take that, turn that into a chart. And I've now got a chart with the averages. Would help if I customize series, run down to data labels. Could use some work on the data labels. They're a little bit overkill on those. Fill color. Let's do not that. That's not that back. The bluest doesn't fit the themes of my colors here. That's better. So I've now got this down there. Could use some work on these means. The text formatting on the data points. Probably should have some position size. That's a number format. Let's see. Turn it to something with fewer decimal points. Let me find a format that'll work. There we go. Looks better that way. So I've got a chart now with the averages for the different ones down here. These are going to need some editing, as you can see, to make the chart look better. I won't do all the edits, but there's always some editing work to do. It's going to delete out these lead headers, and then it will look a little better down here. Take a bit more work to get this to come out. Give it a title for the means of this guy. But point is, I can edit, I can analyze, I can do statistics, I can create charts that I can't do from forms. I have all the power of a spreadsheet right here. Next, I'm going to go ahead and create a slide deck to do my report in. I'll go ahead and slide, edit the theme. I always like to play with the theme, background, just for fun. I've always got some things laying around to use as backgrounds. They're just images I've taken. That makes it nice, makes it look better. I'll probably do some stuff with the header that's kind of blasé. That's just nothing interesting about that particular header up here. I'm working in this top slide because that edits the whole theme. I'm working in the theme at this point. Let's go ahead and shift that to something. There we go. Looks more like the header. This guy, I'm going to do a Control A copy. Set this to something, and it's in gray. I'm going to just set it black because it's not going to show up very well down there. And I'll give it a fill just to help it stand out from when I use a text box. It will stand out better from that background. I may set a little bit, if I go back in here, custom, I may drop in a little bit of transparency so a little bit of the background shows through. With that done, I'm going to close that. Now I've got my little, I can call this tourism. I can now do, I don't need this one up here, but if I want in the FSM, or I can dump that. Likely to just dump that. Doesn't look that good up there. Take it out. That's fine. This one I'm going to slide. Show you how we can do some pull things from elsewhere. Let's go back to our forms here, which have the ones that have our responses already loaded in. This one. Sorry. You can just simply copy this chart and then paste it in. It'll link it to the form, so as new data arrives, this will update. And this is Island of Residence. Take a new slide. I can also go to my spreadsheet here. I've got to go to the one I've actually got data loaded into. So I'll pick up one I've got some data on. This one here. I can go ahead and actually take data right out if I need to for some reason. Copy and paste. And it'll land right in my, land right here. Gotta maybe move it down. So I can just simply copy data from the spreadsheet as a link table. If this were to change for some reason, it would update it. It's a little small, but you can then just edit this into the slide. So if I want to, I can get in here and bring it up some in size. Give it a title. But I can also do that with from the spreadsheet analysis tab. I've got this here, so copy, come over here. I can bring that table in also. And that's a summary table of results. I can display that as well and do the same thing. Make it a little larger. Now this didn't work out, so I either have to change them to white or set a background. Probably just set a background and set these guys the same. That happens sometimes you come across. And of course it's a little small, so you just simply bring it up in size so it's more visible. I can also, though, insert a chart directly from my spreadsheet. Insert chart from sheets. There's the one I'm working on. And now I can pick a chart that I built, including my means chart that I did in my spreadsheet. That's not a chart that was available to me from the form, but I have the full power of the spreadsheet to generate charts. So I can build charts and tables, and I can have slides with text, of course. All these different layouts are available to me. So I can build a nice report replete with tables, charts, pulling stuff from either the forms directly or from my analysis of the forms in sheets. Same thing in, let's go ahead and do a new document, and I can do the same thing here. I can insert charts just the same as I did over there in spreadsheets. Click on the one I want to, the spreadsheet I want to access. All the charts I've got are available to me and can be put into here. I can also include tables, like the table I did in the spreadsheet. These are coming up. I just pasted that in. It was still in my clipboard, so I just copied and I just pasted the same table into this, and so I have a full report that I can work on here. So I can do reports, and if I were in documents as well as in whether you're in slides or documents, you have drawing capabilities. I can add shapes, arrows to slides. I can do the same thing here by using insert drawing. And I can sit here and put together a drawing, compose some kind of drawing, add another shape. Oh, maybe give it a connector. Maybe some kind of connector. Try to go from here to one of these. Let's see if those guys are linked up. Arrow, yeah. So I've got a vector-based drawing package. And when I'm done, I just say save and close, and it drops it right into my document. So this is a once-over, lightly high-speed version of the integration, allowing you to go from forms to sheets to slides and docs. Thanks for watching.